Welcome to Fairytale Access, where the head fairy's quest is to prove that fairy tales do exist in actual time rather than once upon a time. Together, we will unravel the heroes, young and old, who turn dreams into reality. These are the people who still believe in happily ever after. The discoveries will bend even our most cynical non-believers into believing in fairy tales. Hi, welcome to Fairytale Access. Today, I am excited to introduce you to the author of The Dead Game. It's wicked. Her name is Susanne Leist. Thank you for coming in and joining us. How are you?
Hi. Wow, this is exciting.
Oh,
Really
thanks.
on TV, right? Okay.
Wow. Susanne, your book, The Dead Game, is amazing, really well crafted, a lot of
Thank
rich
you.
characters. How did you come up with the theme for this?
I don't know. It started as a simple murder mystery. I love watching Murder She Wrote, so
Hmm.
I decided I wanted to write a murder mystery in a small town like Cabot Cove, Maine. So I created Oasis in Florida, a beach town with tourists and young residents come and open their stores, and there's a pretty hotel. And it was going to be just a simple dead body. And then all of a sudden, it became a paranormal suspense. I created the original residents that live behind the town in their secluded mansions, and they only come out at night. And then my mind started thinking, who comes out at night? But vampires. When did you realize that it was vampires in the middle of the book? When did you realize it?
I suspected it, but I wasn't sure. It was really well crafted. I don't think I really realized that it was vampires until the middle or towards the
Middle,
end.
right. In the middle, that's when I decided to make them vampires. So I kind of twisted on myself. I
Hmm.
changed it, yeah, but I tried to make all the points flow in also, and then it became vampires. Yeah, but they're regular. They look like regular people. They're not sparkly or anything like that. They just look like everybody else. And
What, how did you get the idea for the house at the end of the road?
oh, that house. Well, Agatha Christie had an end house, a spooky house. So I always loved that name. So I did end house,
Hmm.
and I decided that's where the murder is going to take place. And I got the pictures. I wanted the clues, a house of clues. So started out with a lot of clues behind the picture with the wolf. So I had the wolf kind of picture coming up in different places, wolf emblems on their medallions, pictures of the portraits having wolves in them. So I started with that. Then I decided, oh, let's make a party. I don't know. Every night I would write late at night, and I would come up with a new idea, and then I would just continue with it. But I had an outline. I started with an outline, but my mind would just decide on its own which way to take it. Then I'd have to rework the outline, and then everything, go back together.
No, it's really twisted. I right when I
It's
thought I
twisted.
knew who the characters were, where they were going, or how it might turn out, it was like, ah, it could all be
Another
fake.
thing.
This could all be fake. Or this could be set up by a human. And then
Right,
it
right.
took
Yeah.
more twists, but I want to know what happened to the people that disappeared. So is book two going to have them come
But book
back?
two's gonna, yeah, it's gonna answer all the questions. Right,
It is.
right. Book two's, yeah,
It was a great cliffhanger.
right. And Linda, the main character, she's gonna have a life triangle in the next one with Todd and somebody else. I can't say who, really, but there's gonna be a love triangle. And Shanna, her little sidekick, yeah, she's gonna try it with the sheriff, but that doesn't. They're gonna have some heated romance. I'm gonna up the romance a little bit in it, make it a little more steamy, you know.
Well, the romance fit in so good because it was so scary in some places. And then,
Right,
but it was like you were following in the footsteps of all these characters and, trying to win
right,
the game yourself.
right. Did you like the revolving rooms upstairs?
Yeah. That was wicked. It was a wicked twist. And then the party and all the characters that came into it, it really
Right,
started to broaden the storyline so you understood like
right,
the forces of good and evil.
right. And you don't know what happened to Tom and Edward. They disappeared behind that door.
Right.
But we'll find out in book two.
Oh, we will.
Right.
We'll
But
find
we'll
out.
see them. And yes. And Mary from the beginning. Yeah, they'll come back. Yeah. Well, when I'm almost finished with the second book, so I don't even know how it's going to end. I had the last two chapters, and I wrote an ending, but it's too happy. And they say readers want happy endings, and I don't know if I want to do it. I might just tear it up and write something else. I don't know. I have to see. But I'm the best 3 o'clock in the morning. And
Lots
then
of
all of a sudden I wake
coffee.
up in the morning. I said, "Oh my God, I killed this person, and I blew up a building, and I was going to have the next scene in the building. Now the building's gone, so then I had to rework it. But as long as it follows the same outline, the same kind of story plot, but it just the extraneous things get like altered,
S-
you know."
So are your books influenced by your day-to-day activities, like the person who really made you mad at the store, you kind of kill them off in the book?
Yes, and if I don't like somebody, I'll name the character after them.
Oh,
Like I
that's
didn't like somebody named Neva, and she's like a witch. She's the witch. So yeah, I kind of use the names. Yeah, and if I want to kill them up, it's like I want to kill that one. And Mike, yeah, he's kind of sarcastic in real life, so I use yeah, I base it off of people, but you have to make the characters real. And to me, that be real in your mind, you have to base it off of something. I guess
mhm.
Linda's me, really, pretty much, but pathetic me. I guess she's like a little follower. I was never really a follower, but she's shy and she has a lot of fears. And Shanna's her sidekick, and she's kind of silly. But they grow up a little bit at the end. In the next book, they really give it back to the men. Yeah. Yeah. Shanna really gives it to the sheriff. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not going to say how.
So was it a vacation town that
Yeah,
you
it's a
drew
vacation
on?
town.
No, but
Yeah.
so
Oh,
somewhere you
where I get
visited?
my ideas from? Yeah. I don't know. It's a vacation town. And I wanted to make it like a paradise that went bad. They all went there to start over and everything would be nice and, little quaint stores and the boutique shops and everything. And everybody thinks life is so happy, but life is not really that happy. There's always some undercurrent somewhere. Somebody will just cut you down somewhere. Yeah. So I guess
Wow.
that's my personality.
So how long did it take you to write the Dead Game?
7 years.
Seven
Yeah.
years?
Yeah,
Wow.
I'd write it, put it away for a few months, take it back out, and write it again. But that's not my background. My background is in finance. When I decided to write, I had no idea how to write. I mean, I read a lot. But by reading a lot doesn't help you write. Doesn't help you write the dialogue. I
Mhm.
mean, your characters have to move. I said that at the beginning of the to other authors I met in Facebook. I said, how do you make them move? They have to move and talk and have facial expressions. And they would say to me when they were typing back, like, wow, I don't understand. Why is that so hard? But that's hard. You have to say, now they don't want you to say he said or she said. Those words are out now. Now my second book, I have no he said, she said, no adverbs, no words, no adverb, like ends in ly, like quietly, quickly, bad words, right? No passive writing, and it's a big lesson. It's just like, wow,
Wow.
I had to learn a whole new field. Yeah.
Well, that's an incredible feat for somebody who doesn't have writing as a background
I
because
know.
you
I started later
really
on.
you made
Yeah.
the story move so quickly and it was exciting getting invited to the party. You felt like you were going with these characters. And then,
Right.
once you got there, you couldn't really wait to leave, or you were hoping you'd be able to leave, especially to the
Right.
characters that you started to attach to. You're
Right.
like,
Right.
I hope they get
Who did
out
you
of
like?
here,
Did you like
please.
Linda? Some people hate Linda and like Shanna.
I like both
I
of
find that
them.
with reviewers.
No, I
Yeah.
liked everybody. Well, Mike was kind of sarcastic, and I
Yeah. Right.
suspect that he's going to turn really bad. I think
Uh huh.
I don't want to give it away, but
Okay. All right. Well,
yeah, they
I don't.
really have
You
to
won't.
read
You don't
it.
know this book, right? You don't. You'll find out in the next book, like what really is going on, because somebody is watching them. Some Right.
Well,
Somebody
I
is
wasn't sure if
told.
he was being watched, if he was being if his body was invaded, or I mean, there are
Right.
so many ways that it could go.
Well,
It's such,
somebody is invaded. Well, that's a good point. Somebody is invaded.
oh,
But
really?
I won't say.
Oh,
It's like a body snatchers, invasion of the body snatchers. Yeah.
I
It's like
know.
all
Well,
my old movies I watched growing up, they all come in to play, I guess. All my, even that liquid, that oozing stuff at the beginning. I saw something when I was young, some ooze coming out under the door, like eating everything up. I don't remember the name of it. I think it was a blob or the ooze or something.
I
Blob?
know.
I
The
don't know.
book opens up. It's so scary. You think it's going to be a horror show throughout. And then it
Right,
just turns into a real story, like an adventure that you might actually be on if you're in the wrong
right.
place at the wrong time and you know,
I like
a
to be in a haunted
crazy,
house. Would you go to a haunted house? I would go.
yeah,
Like ones
haunted
that stay
houses are
over.
scary.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, yeah. If they have
But I do
traps
them
and
once
things
in a
and
while.
saws coming out of them. Yeah.
Wow. So what was the biggest lesson that you learned writing this?
Oh, my biggest lesson. I'm happy that I did it, and I stepped out of my comfort zone and I did something totally different. Like here I am speaking to you, and I have extreme stage fright, but we're doing it, right?
Right.
Right. Yeah, and I wanted to do it to keep my mind as I get older, keep my mind clear, and then to keep it sharp. And so what I started doing, I started writing poetry also, and I hated poetry in school. I really hated it because I couldn't understand most of it. But then I looked for pictures online. I usually use Tumblr, and I wrote a poem about it. And all of a sudden, my mind rhymes. It wants to rhyme. So I started doing it. I put it on my blogs, and people like it. I think they like it better than my book even. And so first I started writing poetry to promote my book. And I have
Hmm.
pictures now. I have banners. I love making banners on my book because I always liked art. Yeah, and marketing because
Hmm.
marketing I took as part of finance, and so now I write poetry also, and I joined a site online. It's called Authors Den, and all authors write poetry and they review each other's, and and it's interesting. I like it. Yeah,
Oh, that's
but
great.
yeah,
What a great place to
yeah.
get really good tips.
About for authors, like tips for what to do for authors.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, just for feedback and so you know that you're going the right
yeah,
way or
yeah.
that it strikes the chord that you wanted it to
Yeah.
strike.
Like authors will go, that's silly, or why so. And then if I write something really dark, they think that I'm writing about myself. It's really amazing. And these authors go, really? Like I wrote something this week about the darkness inside of me. I was walking in the woods and I heard footsteps and I looked down and I found a picture online. It was like a werewolf looking at me from the water. And I said, oh, I looked down and I saw the inside of me staring back. And all these authors think that I'm really depressed. And then I was writing about myself. Oh. So I write, no, it's not about myself. I'm writing poetry, and when I write
Right.
about nature, how pretty it is, I mean, that's also poetry, but that's not me all the time. I mean, I go up, down.
Right. Like
But
everybody else. But it
yeah,
helps you get to that spot to write certain scenes, I'm sure.
right. Yeah. What do
Um,
you read? What type of books do you read? You don't
ev
read vampire books, right?
I read everything.
You read everything? Oh, okay, that's good. Because a lot of
Oh,
my friends say, oh, I don't read vampires. Like some people won't read about vampires or paranormal, but I like everything. I like horror. I don't like historical fiction.
I do like historical fiction.
You do?
I
Well, that's
do.
what our book club does. And I always fall asleep on it. I don't know.
I like,
Now my favorite author is Dan Brown. I read his
oh,
last book. Yeah, Origin. Oh, you should read that book. That's really good.
yeah,
I'll
he's
plug him.
really, yeah, and you do twist like he does.
Yeah, I just found him. I just started reading his books like this past year, and I said, "Oh my God, he has a demented mind like mine. Like you never know what's going to happen." But his is like religion. He does more religion. I don't want to talk about religion and politics. I try to keep on Facebook. I stay off of that. I don't, want to
No,
get
you
into that.
always have a
Also,
lot of
like
fun and
vampires.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
very people oriented and your artwork is great. I didn't realize that
Oh,
you
you like
did
my
out.
banners?
I do. I love the banners. I love the quips that go along with it when you're sharing
Oh,
it.
my poems. Right, right.
It's
Yeah, that's fun. That is really fun. Sometimes I'm doing that. I said I should be writing, but writing is really a chore. Because once I started doing what they say with the pinpoints and the pinch points and the certain climax goes a certain way and the scenes, and it makes it harder. It makes it work, but I try to write. I stay up late at night and I close my eyes and I say, where do I want my characters to go? And what are they going to do? I'm Linda right now. What should I do? Oh, let's like have a fight with Todd. Okay, let's give it to Todd. Yeah, and that's how I write. And then I say, did I follow my outline? Well, I don't know.
That's fun. So where did you get the idea for just the way the
Vampire?
characters all met? Is it something from like your high school, college days?
No. I guess maybe I wanted to have friends like that. I would have a group of maybe 3 or 4 friends. I never had such a big group of friends. Maybe I wanted it, But they're not all so nice to each other, really. And little Louise turns a little creepy at the end, doesn't she? Doesn't she change a little bit?
She
She's not like
really,
herself.
I know. I'm
Louise,
really worried
blonde.
about her.
Uh,
I
Wait,
was
you're
really
in
worried about her. I'm like, oh no, what's going to happen to her? And then and there's a murderer on the loose. So it's like,
Right,
oh
right.
no, did she turn into a murderer? You know what I mean?
All
Because
right.
she was someone that you liked. And
Yeah,
then,
right. And
yeah,
then
she
then
went
she
through some
kills
really
somebody with the
scary
kitchen knife.
stuff.
Yeah, with that little kitchen knife, she kills the deputy.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
she comes into play in the next book, but not till like the end of the next book. Yeah.
I don't know. The priest had me a little nervous too.
Yeah, yeah, him. Right.
Yeah, there's
Him and
something.
Abe, the head of the Watchers, those two together. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there's something about the priest I'm not too sure about.
I know. He believes in vampires and all that. Yeah. Yeah, he has a story. Everything's explained in the second book. Yes.
Promise.
And it's
And
almost done.
when's it coming out?
I thought I was going to be finished with it in December, and then just life keeps getting it. Well, my daughter got married in November, and then just things keep popping up. And then since I use proofreaders for my second book, I have to proofread their work. So for each 7,000 words I write, I have 4 people proofing mine. So every time I write something, oh God, and I decide, should I use this one? And they tear everything apart. And then, but this way it won't be torn apart in reviews. So everything takes time. I want to do it right this time. Totally perfect. I want it, yeah. And I have an editor, I think, lined up.
Hmm.
I found somebody on Google, and I've been reading his articles, so I think I'm going to be using him, and I'm going to put it on Amazon. Yeah.
That's exciting. Good for you. Well, the Dead game is definitely crafted well. Maybe it'll be a board
Thank you.
game someday.
Oh yeah, maybe a movie. I think I might want to edit it one more time. Maybe I could sharpen it a little bit.
Oh,
I'm
well,
always editing. I write and edit, write and edit. I don't know. I just keep. How many ways you could say the same thing but better, or in a different way, or different words? And I reread. I said, oh, I could have said it this way, or I could have said it that way. You know, that's why it takes me so long to write a book. It takes a
wow.
long time. Yeah.
So what advice would you give other writers that are starting out or,
Uh,
you know, that are
right,
just want to keep their minds sharp and just write?
right, right. Well, if you self-publish, make sure everything is set up beforehand. Because I used Outskirts Press, and all of a sudden one day they said, "Okay, the book is set," and then all of a sudden they told me it's sitting on Amazon and Nook. I mean, it's sitting there. What, you didn't tell me ahead of time? It was just I go on Amazon and it's sitting there, but has no description. It didn't have my picture. Didn't say anything about me. So, and I found out afterwards I'm supposed to promote the release of it, because when a book comes out, it has the highest ratings, like it has the most exposure. So if you work on that, you could find a bigger audience. And I didn't know that. So then for the next month, I had to hurry up and I had to write descriptions for my book, and for myself, I had to find a picture of myself because I never put one in my book. When I released my second book, um, maybe I'll use the same picture. I didn't have a picture in the first book, but the second book, I think I'll put a picture in to make it more personal, so that people could see who I am. And the last picture was from my daughter's wedding a few years ago. And this time I'll use maybe my second daughter's wedding. They just got married in November. I'll check for a picture. So do you think you'll read the second book? You think you might be
Absolutely.
interested? Oh, okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm waiting
Okay.
for the third too. It's a trilogy,
Oh, the
right?
third. Yeah, they're going to go international. And I think I'm going to use Shanna's perspective instead of, I'm not going to use all those points of views. I think I'm going to just stick to one point of view to make it easier. So the second book will have Linda, and the next one will have Shanna. And then we'll see what kind of mess they could get into. And we'll see
They're
about the
very good
dead.
at that.
Yeah.
Striking up on their own, getting into trouble.
Right, right.
Ooh, and I want to know more about the guy on the hill in the middle of like nowhere. But he seemed
That was
really nice.
that was Wolf. That was Wolf.
No, not
Oh,
him.
God.
I think he was more on the left side of town. On the other side
Hayden?
of the
Hayden?
hotel, there was a hotel, like a bed and breakfast place. Remember there was a family of
Oh,
them
oh,
that went back for
right,
generations, and they were
right.
always there's a window in the attic that
Right, the
watches.
Watchers are watching. Right, he
Yeah.
gets killed at the end, doesn't he?
Oh, I don't.
Remember the whole mansion gets wiped out and gets destroyed. Oof.
Oh, the guy on the hill was part of that.
Yeah, well,
The one that seemed really charming in the house that looked like it.
right, right. He was a vampire.
Oh, a bad one.
Yeah, a bad, a bad one. Yeah, part of the dead. Yeah.
Oh, he
Oh, he
seems
had
so
all the
nice.
rooms. Yeah, the different rooms that were different. That the library that was big, and the kitchen that looked like it was never used. Yeah,
Oh no, that's
yeah.
the other guy. There's another
Oh,
guy.
that's the other one. So the house
That's
that,
Wolf, right? The one that, yeah. So, but he's not really dead. Dead. I think his
Wolf,
spirit escaped or something. But
Wolf,
there's
right,
another guy on the hill that they briefly saw, and that's the only time I saw him in the whole book.
right. Maybe it's Hayden. Does he have antiques?
Yes, he has antiques.
Oh, Hayden. Oh, he's powerful. He comes back. He's going to be a major player. Oh, you liked Hayden?
I
He's
really
dark.
liked him.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
and his
liked Hayden.
dog. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I like him
I was like,
also. Yeah.
oh, so he's really, where is he? Where is he?
Right, he's going to come back.
Okay.
I guess I introduced a lot of people at the beginning. I'm going to slow down in the second book and never have everybody catch up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that'll be
Hayden.
great. Because you
I
were
like
like,
Wolf.
you did? He's
Yeah.
so evil.
Yeah. I know, but he really loved Linda, didn't he?
No, I
All the
don't think he
passion.
did.
Oh, you don't think so?
No, I think it was less.
Okay. But Todd, no, I don't think Todd is wimpy. I think Todd is wimpy.
No, I think Chad really likes her.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought he stood up for her and I don't know.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, when is
But he
book
does
two
love
coming
her. He
out?
does love her. Yeah, but she has to choose between him and somebody that comes back. Somebody
Ah,
comes back.
somebody comes back.
Yeah, somebody comes back.
Okay.
And you
Bro,
were right.
all right. Well, we don't want to give too much away, but
So
before
it's
we
good.
get,
That's what I want. I want people to think and to open their imagination. That's the purpose of writing. Just think, well, could this happen? Well, maybe. Let's think back to the clues. Does it flow? Yeah. Murder, She Wrote. Yeah.
that's
That's
awesome.
my goal.
So,
Yeah.
growing up, what was your favorite book of all time?
Let me see. And Then There Were None. Agatha Christie.
Really?
Yeah. Did you read that? Did you see the movie? Yeah. No? No? Yeah.
I did.
Okay.
That was good.
Yeah. And what else did I like? I didn't read Gone with the Wind. I saw the movie. I don't know. I don't remember what I read when I was growing up. My brother read a lot of mature books like Alistair MacLean. When I was like a teenager, I'm reading like older boys' books because he was reading that. Sherlock Holmes. Um, oh, I was into science fiction. Isaac Asimov for a while, and the one with the cockroach. What was that guy that turned into Kafka? That really got to me. And
Really?
Edgar Allan Poe. That's a dark part of me coming in. Edgar Allan Poe. Yeah, I liked his
Oh, he
things.
really
But it's
scared
all
me.
poetry. Yeah, he was. Yeah. You
Like
know
the
what scared
fall
me?
of
The
the house.
bird.
Well, the fall of the House of Usher and the Telltale
Oh yeah,
Heart.
yeah. Oh, the Telltale Heart. That was a good one.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was really creepy.
yeah, yeah. Oh, what was I saying? I forgot.
I
Oh,
don't
the
know.
birds. Oh, that was that movie got me. That yeah. But I didn't use any birds in my book. Hmm.
Hmm.
I had some alligators.
Wow. Well, now everybody is going to know how your mind works.
Right. Really dark and demented, right?
I don't know if demented fits, but it is a really exceptional story. Thank you so much for sharing it with
Thanks.
us.
You help me with my stage fright.
Uh,
I just stare at your face and I feel fine.
oh, good. Have a calming influence. Maybe that'll
Yeah, you
help
do.
book two or one of the people survive.
I'm really happy to be here.
It was really great to have you. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. And you guys, until next time, keep asking questions. And if you want a really good book to read that'll take you on a wild adventure, it's called The Dead Game.